Auzu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. We start with verse 12 of Surah Ar-Rum. It says, "On the day when the hour of judgment will be established, the criminals shall be in despair." Now the word yublis is from iblas, which means not having anything to say in defense. And the exact sense of this word is that if you are sinning and you are caught red-handed, and then you are like speechless and you have nothing to say in your defense, such will be the state of criminals in the Akhirah. And mind you, these are not the kafirs, but the criminals, the sinners, mujrimun. Verse 13, none of the shuraka will be there to intercede for them, and they themselves will disown their shuraka. Now all the veils will be lifted up, and their eyes will open, and they will face the harsh reality, the reality of whatever they worshipped besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Verse 14, on that day, when the hour of judgment will be established, mankind will be sorted out. Now this will be the day when mu'mins and kafirs will be separated. Those on the path of righteousness and those on that of deception will be separated. Whether they are a mother and a son, brothers and sisters, parents and children, in dunya people believing in different ideologies live together, but not in the Akhirah. We should not behave like selfish people, concerned only about our own hidayah, but we should be concerned about our loved ones as well, so that we are not separated in the Akhirah. If the nur of this Quran has entered in one's heart in the true sense, then it cannot be possible that you sit back content. You will definitely keep struggling to illuminate others with this nur as well. Verse 15, those who have embraced the faith and have done good deeds shall be made happy in a garden of paradise. So at the end of the day, all that matters is, which is repeated again and again, these two things, iman and good deeds. The verse says that they will be in a rawda, which means a lush garden, and yuhbarun is derived from habur, which means happiness, joy, delight. And this word encompasses all types of delight which the dwellers of paradise will get from the bounties of paradise. And while explaining this verse, some commentators have mentioned various delightful things which fall under the category of joy and delight. Verse 16, and those who have rejected faith, denied our revelations, and the meeting of the hereafter, shall be presented for punishment. Verse 17, therefore, glorify Allah in the evening and in the morning. Verse 18, all praise is due to Him in the heavens and the earth, so glorify Him in the late afternoon and when the day begins to decline. Now to glorify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala means to proclaim Allah's being free from and exalted above the defects and faults and weaknesses. Now all kinds of remembrance of Allah comes under glorifying Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but here the special indication is towards the 5 daily prayers. If it meant any, like just any remembrance, then there should be no question of the restriction of the times of morning and evening, because a Muslim should be remembering and glorifying Allah in all times and not just on specific times. It is for this reason that the scholars have stated that this verse has clearly described the timings, it has defined the timings of the 5 prayers. Someone asked Hazrat Abdullah bin Abbas Raziyallahu Ta'ala Anhu whether the Quran has specifically mentioned about the 5 prayers. He answered in the affirmative, and he quoted this verse. And then while explaining his point, Hazrat Abdullah bin Abbas said that Hina tum son, which means when you come up to evening, Hina, they are for Maghrib, and Hina tusbihun, it is, which means when you enter the morning, that is for the Fajr prayer. And then the word Ashiyan or Ashiya, you pronounce it both ways. It is for the Asr, and Hina Tuzhirun, when you come up to the time when the day begins to decline, it is for the Zuhr prayer. In this way, this verse has described the 4 prayers clearly. And as for the Isha, it is enjoined explicitly in another verse. Verse 19. He brings out the living from the dead and the dead from the living, and gives life to the earth after its death. Likewise, you shall be brought forth to life after your death. Now, some special attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala are discussed, that He brings out the living from the dead. Where do we see that? Dry, barren land, and then vegetation comes out from it. Then non-living egg and living creature comes out from it. The same way, sometime kafir parents and children who have iman are born in their houses, and the vice versa, that dead is born from the living. Righteous parents, but the children have no iman. And all this is being pointed out to remind us that the very same way Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make you alive once you are dead. And you see, this miracle happened before your very eyes. Verse 20 of His signs, one is that He created you from dust, and then behold, you men scattered. Verse 21, and of His signs, another one is that He created for you mates from amongst yourselves, so that you may find comfort with them, and He planted love and kindness in your hearts. Surely there are signs in this for those who think about it. Now, all human beings are created from the same matter. The origin is the same, but in them there is a variation. What variation? That of a man and a woman, male and female. They are created from the same matter, yet there is a big difference in their build, in their appearance, in their looks, in their character, in their habits. If one is seeking Allah, even in this there are great signs for him. And they provide an excellent example of Allah Ta'ala's supreme power. And then what is the wisdom behind, creating mates from the same species? Now the verse says they are created so that, the reason is given inside the verse, litaskunu ilayha, so that you may find peace in them, to get comfort. And if one ponders, it becomes evident that all the requirements of men from women end up in drawing peace and tranquility and comfort. And the Quran has put all this in just one word. Then the next word, which is the word litaskunu, the basic objective of a married life is what? Peace of mind. And the family which is deprived of this peace is an unsuccessful married life. Now, how could this peace be achieved? This can only be achieved when there is a mutual recognition of each other's rights and a sincere effort to fulfill them. Otherwise, where there is a struggle to meet one's own rights only, then the result is domestic tension and shattering of the peace. In addition to this, marital life is not just governed by rules for protecting rights. Allah has put in their hearts emotions and love for each other. Just as Allah has filled the hearts of parents with such a natural love that they are compelled to protect their children more than their own souls. Similarly, a degree of natural love is put in the hearts of children for the parents. The same thing is done in the case of spouses. And this is explained in this verse very explicitly. وَجَعَلَ بَيْنَكُمْ مَوَدَّةً وَرَحْمَةً. The literal meaning of mawadda is liking, and this liking results in love and affection, and rahma is kindness. Now, mawadda is the love that refers to young age, when spouses are attracted towards each other with love and affection. This is like passion, this is romance. While rahma refers to old age, when passions subside and compassion takes its place for each other. And because of it, they are carrying sympathy for each other, they care for each other. Now, this love and rahma can exist only between the bonds of marriage. In the illegal relations, there can be mawadda for some time, but not rahma. This relation can never be a source of peace and tranquility, but azab, a punishment in dunya as well as the akhirah. Now we can see this sign of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with our own eyes. A man and a woman, they have never met each other all their lives. They start developing a bond of love for each other as soon as they are married. Then why is it that a man who earns money with his blood and sweat keeps putting it in the hands of this woman who is his wife all his life, whereas one wouldn't give to anyone besides this? Then the woman keeps on bearing the mental and physical stress of married life and yet wants to cling on to her husband. If Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had not put this mawadda and rahma in their hearts, this would not have been possible. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the all-wise, knew that this bond could not exist without love. The end of the verse says that there are signs in this for those who think about it. What sign is this? That man is made from a dead matter, the earth, but Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala placed emotions and feelings in it. Man has managed to copy the creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and made a robot, but he has been unable to put these emotions in it. Verse 22, and yet other of his signs are the creation of the heavens and the earth, and the difference of your languages and colors. Surely there are signs in this for the knowledgeable, that although your vocal cords are the same, and there is no difference in the structure of the mouth, the same tongue, and there's no difference in the structure of the brain, yet people speak different languages in different regions, in different tones, all over the world, even in regions where the same language is spoken. It is spoken in different dialects from city to city and from town to town. Moreover, the accent and the pronunciation and the style of speech of every person is different from the other. Even if they are speaking the same language, they are uttering the same words, yet there would be a difference in the style of speech. Similarly, another of Allah's qudrat is that although the formula of semen is the same, yet people have so many colors which are so different from each other. Even the color of two sons of the same parents are not exactly the same. In this verse, attention has been drawn to only two aspects, but if one looks around, one will notice an infinite variety everywhere in the world. One will find countless differences in the species of man, animals, plants, that despite the basic uniformity in the different members, no member of the same species is exactly identical with the others. Even the two leaves of a tree are not exactly identical. This shows that the world is not a factory in which automatic machines might be working and turning out things in a mass production, bearing the stamp of their own separate species. But in this factory, there is a master artist at work who gives individual attention to everything and produces it on a new design with new qualities, and every creation is unique. Now, this fact is a clear proof that the Creator is ever engaged in His creative activities and is giving individual attention to each and everything in His creation. Verse 23, and among His signs is your sleep at night and the quest for His bounty during the day. Surely there are signs in this for those who pay heed. Now another of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's power is mentioned, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has not just created man but has made arrangements for his comfort. Allah knew that His creature could not work endlessly or continuously. He needs rest and sleep to recoup energy. That is why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created the phenomena of sleep. Even if one does not want to give a break to his work, he is overpowered with fatigue and sleep, and he is compulsively pushed to rest. This sleep freshens him up, and he is ready to work and look for Allah's fazl. And this rest is obviously in the night, but during the day as well. Not the early part of the day, but the afternoon nap, which is called Kailula. Verse 24, and of His signs is the showing of lightning, in which there is fear as well as hope, and He sends down rainwater from the sky, and with it gives life to the earth after its death. Surely there are signs in this for those who use their common sense. Here another of Allah's signs is mentioned, that is lightning. The verse says that it gives hope and fear. What is the hope? That rain will come and help the crops, and the fear that the lightning may strike somewhere or heavy rain may fall, which may wash away everything. Verse 25, and of His signs are the firmly standing heavens and earth by His command. Then as soon as He will summon you out of the earth, you shall come forth at one call. Now the existence of the sky and the earth is by the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. When He will command the breakup of the system, this strong arrangement which is working since millions of years perfectly, without a single depreciation, will end up in no time. And then by the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, all the dead will assemble in the plane of reckoning. Verse 26, to Him belongs everything that is in the heavens and the earth. All are obedient to Him. Verse 27, He is the one who originates creation, then repeats it, and it is easy for Him To him belongs the highest similitude in the heavens and the earth, and he is the Almighty, the All-Wise. The verse means that it is not difficult for the Creator and Controller of the universe to raise you back to life. He will have to make no preparation for it. He will make just one call, and this would be enough to raise every human being ever born on the face of this earth. And it is simple common sense that the remaking of a thing should be relatively easier for the one who made it for the first time. The verse says, Lahul Masalul Ala, for him is the highest attribute. The word masal is used for any such thing which has resemblance and similarity with something else, but it is not exactly the same. That is why the Quran has used the word masal for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala at several places. Why? Because laysa ka mislihu shay'un, there is no being like him. Verse 28, we give you an example from your own lives. Do you let your slaves be equal partners in the wealth which we have given you? Do you fear them as you fear each other? Thus do we spell out our revelations for those who use their common sense. Now the verse refutes shirk, that people who make ma'bood other than Allah. Who are these? They can be stone idols, they can be dead people in the grave, or even living people. They can be angels, they can be jinns, or they can be objects. All such people who take them as ma'bood are asked that try to understand this point with one example. That is, that all these things are different from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but you take this example from your own species. Think about your slaves. They are identical with you in looks, in appearance, their make of limbs, their physical features, yet you do not permit them to share equally in your power and authority. You are not willing to part with the slightest part of your wealth and power in favor of your subjects, let alone sharing your power and possessions with them. They can neither spend wealth nor time the way they like as you do. So pause for a minute and ponder that human beings, angels, and all other things in the universe are created by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and they are all His creations, they are all His slaves. Then how can you take them as His equals or partners? The end of the verse says that we spell out our revelations, meaning that we make them crystal clear, explaining them with every possible example, but only the people who are rational can understand them. Verse 29. Nay, the wrongdoers are led by their own desires without real knowledge, so who can guide those whom Allah leaves astray? They will have no helpers. Now the verse means that the actual reason for the deviation of these people are two. Number one, they lack knowledge, and number two, they are slaves of their desires. See, one thing is aql, which promotes rationalizing, and the other thing is your desires. When desires shoot up to an uncontrollable limit, they wrap up a person's aql and they blur it. The psyche of such people is that they do not see the truth themselves and even refuse to listen to a well-wisher even. So when a person insists on his deviation, then it is Allah's way that He creates means which mislead him further and further away from the truth. And when a truth-loving person invokes Allah for guidance, then Allah creates for him maximum means for guidance. Now, does it seem that these people have no fault of their own? They look innocent when we are told that they cannot be guided because Allah chose to lead them astray. No, it is they themselves who are the initiators. They are the choosers. They chose this path, and Allah facilitated this path for them. Verse 30, therefore, stand firm in your devotion to the upright faith, the nature made by Allah, the one on which mankind is created, and the laws of nature ordained by Allah cannot be changed. That is the standard of true faith, but most among mankind do not know. This is one of the difficult verses of the Quran, so please pay attention, like a special attention to it. Now, according to the context of this verse, and the address is towards Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and via him to all believers. It says that when the reality has become clear to you and you have come to know that none but Allah is the creator and master of the universe and also of man himself, then your conduct should be such as indicated in this verse, and that is, stand firm in your devotion to the upright faith. This means do not turn your face to any other direction after you have adopted this way of life. Then you should think like a Muslim, and your likes and dislikes should be of a Muslim. Your values and standards should be the ones set by Islam. Your character and conduct should bear the stamp of Islam, and the affairs of your individual and collective life should be ordered according to the way taught by Islam. When someone meets you, he should feel and acknowledge that he has met a mu'min. Then the turning of the face signifies your direction. Face includes brain, eyes, tongue, ears. All these things will work as Allah wants them to work. That is, with full consciousness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The verse says, Fitrat Allah, the nature made by Allah. And Allati Fataran Nas, the one which mankind is created. What is Allah's deen towards which we are commanded to turn our face? Fitrat Allah. The word fitrat is from fitra, which means to create in a beautiful way. So the meaning would be that this deen is created beautifully by Allah. Now the exact meaning of the word fitrat here is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed the capability to every human being to find his creator, to look for his creator, and then believe in him. The proper utilization of this capability leads to submission to Islam. This subject has been explained by Prophet ﷺ in a number of ahadith. According to Bukhari and Muslim, Prophet ﷺ said, every child who is born on true human nature. It is his parents who make him a Jew or a Christian or a Magian afterwards. Its example is of an animal which gives birth to complete and sound young ones. None is born with torn and cut of ears, but the mushriks tear their ears afterwards on account of their superstitions of ignorance. Then, according to another hadith reported in the Musnad of Ahmad and Nasai, the Muslims in a war killed even the children of the enemy. And when Prophet ﷺ came to know about it, he became very angry and said, what has happened to the people? They have transgressed the limits and killed even the children. A man said, sir, well, were they not the children of the mushriks? To this the Prophet ﷺ replied, even the best of your people are the children of the mushriks. Then he said, every living being is born on true nature. Then when he becomes able to speak, his parents turn him into a Jew or a Christian. In another hadith reported by Imam Ahmad, that one day during his address, Prophet ﷺ said, "My Lord says, I had created all my servants on true faith. Then the shaitans came and led them astray from the faith and made unlawful what I had made lawful for them, and commanded them to associate with me those for whom I have sent down no authority." Then the verse says, I think our time is up, and we will continue with the same verse which we are doing in the next lecture, inshallah. Wa akhiru dawana anil hamdulillahi rabbil alameen.